Hello, Pisces. How are you doing? I hope very well, and I hope you're not rushing around working, trying to get into reading like I am right now. I'm not rushing, but I am working right now, but like I was trying to do so many things, or well, I was trying to do other things. I was trying to not do this reading right now because I'm fucking working and I have a lot of other things that I want to be doing right now. That sounds like shitty. I'd rather be doing your reading than working, but like I have other priorities. That's what I'm trying to say. But I couldn't do those because I was getting this. I have a way that I communicate with my guides and whatever you want to call them, and they give me this feeling that's like it doesn't allow me to do something until I get something out of the way, and this is the thing that I needed to do before I could move on to the other tasks. And I'm praying it's gonna be quick because I've been saying in every reading I want to make it quick, I want to make this quick. Never happened. So let's just see. I don't know if there's something going on with your feet or something. There was a lot of emphasis on feet today, and like that could be for like one person, but I like just painted my toenails before this reading, and actually I used to fool around with this Pisces guy who I like accidentally fell in love with, kind of, and he used to be a feet guy. I distinctly remember stomping on his face with my feet, and I hope your feet are good. I hope you have a good pair of shoes, you know, because like, man, I fucked up my back and my neck. I was wearing $5 shoes, and I had my mom in my ear always being like, you're gonna mess up your back and all this stuff. And I just was like, whatever. And I walk everywhere because I live in New York, and like all of a sudden I'm now wearing 2 neck braces on top of each other because I fucked up something. And you know, this Pisces I'm talking about, he's a doctor too, so I don't know if you have like medical things going on. Oh no, that's probably for a small number of people, but you know, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. I wanted to say, since this is my first Pisces reading, well, this is my first reading for you guys, so I'll just say how I do my things. Normally a very intuitive. This is weird what's happening right now. I'm just pulling some cards, so I might stop talking for a second because I kind of like to focus. Wow, you're getting all wands. This is really weird. This is really weird. What was I saying? Yeah, so these are really like intuitive readings. They're really like me talking a lot, me telling personal stories a lot if I feel like I need to tell them, because if this is so weird. Okay, you're getting every fucking wand, and all right, this is the final card I'm gonna take in the past present, because you got every fucking wand in the book here. I tell a lot of personal stories because they usually tie into the reading if I feel called to tell them. So if you're not into that sort of thing, this is probably not for you. And this is, I want this to be a shorter reading, but it's probably gonna be long. So, oh damn, oh wow. I just saw a card and I was like, oh, I don't know if I should take it, and then I went back to look for it, because then I was like, oh, I feel like I should have taken that. And I saw the Devil reversed. So I am going to take that, because what's funny is this Pisces that I'm already talking about, he used to show up as the Devil in all of my readings. All of my readings. Man, oh man. Where was that card? So yeah, like I said, I tell a lot of personal stories, and it's normally long and normally just like a lot of channeled stuff and things like that. So if you're into that, then stick around, and if not, sorry. Okay, so yeah, I usually have like a token friend from each of the signs that I talk about in these readings, because they normally go hand in hand. Okay, yeah, this card that I wasn't going to take before, it came out again. Oh my god, both of them just came out again. Okay, yeah, fine. All these 3 cards have been coming out this entire week. I'll just take them. You have like 20 cards on the deck right now, on the table right now. I can't fucking talk. I've just been seeing... what is going on? You have so many cards that want to come out. Like, I don't stop pulling until I basically feel like the deck is dead, if that makes sense. Like, it just feels like I shouldn't pull any more cards, so I don't pull a certain number. I just, like, use the... You guys fucked up my deck, too. Like, I just put all the cards in the wrong... You had me discombobulated. What the fuck did I just do? Okay. I guess, yeah. Alright, I guess the card I was looking for, just showed up in the wrong direction, in the deck. It was the only card that was flipped the wrong way. And I don't mean, like, upright or reverse. I mean, like, flipped, like... this way versus this way. So they're normally all flipped this way, but it was flipped like this way, and it was what I was looking for. And Jesus Christ, you're gonna have like so many cards in here. Anyway, I think I'm good with this deck. This is a Santa Muerte deck, and I use it for past present. Oh, another fucking card came out. Yep. Wow. All right, Lord have mercy. I'm just like very overwhelmed right now, and I feel like you might be overwhelmed right now. I'm like, what? I feel like this might be representative of, like, I think you actually got every wand in the, like, sequence. And that's, like, fast movement and, like, energy and things like that. I just feel like you have a lot going on and a lot of energy and, like, a lot of things just piling up. Like, literally, like, my cards piling up. I think you just have things fucking piling up. Like, okay. Okay. The deck is done now. I have things popping out and they're not feeling like I need to take them, so it's officially done. I'm gonna fucking retire the deck and put it away. Okay, thank God. There's too many cards coming out, but they want it to be out, so I will take it. I just wanted to literally emphasize that I think you have a lot on your plate. Yes, what I was saying about how I usually have a friend who is of the sign and they normally fit in with the reading. Pisces is kind of I just did the Aries reading last night, and I was telling them I had to do some serious work before I could do an Aries reading, because both my parents are Aries, and, well, I see an important card here. Both my parents are Aries, and I have a lot of, like, trauma with them, and then, like, I just have a lot of things going on with Aries where, like, I just... didn't really... Oh, well, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, you guys got so many cards. I don't fucking know. So I had to do a lot of work with myself before I could do that, and I successfully did that, and it's a little bit similar to Pisces. Because but it's better for Pisces, I'll say that. Aries was the sign that I kind of had the most negative, like, experience with. I literally was terrified of Aries people. Like, if I met an Aries, I'd just be like shivers down my spine. I'd be like, oh my god, are you gonna murder me in my sleep? Like, you know, something like that. It was just that type of energy. And I have an Aries moon, so it's, you know, I have that in me. But what I wanted to say about Pisces is, like, with you guys, I have a really difficult relationship, like a in a good way though, in a good and bad way, because it's like I'm so attracted to Pisces people. Like, the only 2 people to ever break my heart, or like the only 2 people I would consider I was ever in love with, were Pisces, but they both broke my heart in the exact same way. And I have Pisces friends who I love. You know, it's this thing of, like, I'm really fascinated by Pisces people. I'm really drawn to them and I really like them. However, it never really seems to, like, work long term. And I'm an Aquarius, so maybe it's just that I don't think that that's really, like, a compatible situation, but basically I fucking love you guys and you never love me back. No, like, both the Pisces dudes who broke my fucking heart, they showed every sign in the world that they really liked me, like a lot, even loved me, and then out of nowhere they just like ghosted me out of nowhere. And the one that I'm probably gonna be referencing most in this reading, he's just like he had a lot on his plate, so that's what this probably represents. And he was just like scared, like he was scared of a lot of things. And I know you guys are emotional beings, but he was definitely like scared of emotions. So maybe that's gonna play into something here, but really he did have a lot on his plate. So that could be you guys as well. All right, I'm sorry I'm like taking so long pulling these cards. You have so many cards that want to come out. Oh my Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. It's just so weird. Yeah. So basically I fucking love you guys, and I just don't think you love me the way I want you to love me, but I won't hold that against you in this reading, or I'll try not to at least. I feel like I can do an unbiased reading, but if he plays into this at all, I will bring up stories about him because that's what I like to do. Alright, I'm done. I am done here. Am I done here? Am I done here? I'm like, I really want to make sure. You know, I'm going to keep this deck out in case I want to pull anything else. So right off the bat, I want to mention some stuff that I mentioned from the Aries reading last night, because I was bringing in some channelings from Archangel Michael that I thought were for me. I had channeled him a couple nights ago, and then he asked me to basically bring out my notes from that and talk about what I learned. And he also had me write March. One of the first things he told me to write was March, and then he circled it to like really emphasize it. And at first I was like, okay, is this like Aries Pisces? Do I need to like do a reading for them? And so I'm wondering, since I was called to do Aries reading last night and yours today, wondering if there's going to be some similar themes. So maybe watch theirs if this like interests you at all. But the big takeaway from that was killing the ego, like understanding where your ego plays into things, and understanding that we're like ingrained here on earth to think that things that fuel your ego are like good, like wanting to be the best at everything, wanting to just win at everything, you know, that type of shit. And how it translates into overworking. And the theme this week for most of the readings has been like overworking. Like it's a real thing. And even I know like we're supposed to be slowing down, we're in quarantine still, you know, and I just think a lot of people, even if they're not working, their like minds are working too hard, and there's too much going on. And he's a doctor, so he's been working really, really hard around this time because of coronavirus. He hasn't been doing well mentally, so I hope you guys are doing okay. I know you guys are emotional people, so you're probably the most sign that I'm like concerned about with like depression and stuff. Alright, all the cards are not even going to fit on this table, but I'm going to just take a quick look. So you have literally every fucking wand. Every fucking wand. And I feel like you guys are very passionate people. Wands are passion, you know, sexual urges. Like, he's a very sexual person. He's always fucking horny. So I don't know if you guys got like something going on. And there's a lot of red here too, you know? So I wonder if they did that in the cards. Like, I've looked at this deck a lot of times, like there's just a lot of red. And red used to be my favorite color. I really like the intensity of red. I really love like the passion, the fiery shit that comes along with red. But and it's been my favorite color for like a very long time. And very recently, my favorite color changed to green, which is actually what Archangel Michael had me. The first thing he had me write in my channeling was green. And I don't know what that really means, but it is my favorite color right now. And it's just like a more like calming, like subtle color. It has a lot to do with nature. And red is just super intense. And I know you guys can be intense. You can be really in your heads. You can be really passionate about things, which can be an amazing thing, but it can also be a downfall. And I just definitely think that like you're dealing with an overflow of emotions in a lot of directions, and it might be a lot of emotions that are not, maybe they're not bad, maybe they are, I don't know, but whatever it is, no matter if you have like a lot, I feel like even if you have a lot of good emotions, if there's just a lot of them, something in you is, it's gonna be too much, you know. Like I know some people who are bipolar, and like he had borderline personality disorder, and even if you're not, people who have these really high highs, like I said, even if it's not like a medical thing, it's something that I've heard people say like, those are just as scary as the lows, because, you know, you're always going to come down from that. Like you can't stay at that for too long. So I don't know if you have negative emotions. I don't know if you have positive emotions. I don't know if you just have a lot of emotions or a lot of things going on right now. But I worry about your mind being overcrowded right now. Let me just look a little bit closer at these cards. So let me just take a count. So you have the Ace of Wands. Let me see if you have the Two of Wands. You have the Two of Wands. I think you have the Three of Wands somewhere. Some of them are reversed, so I'm trying to look. Yeah, like I can't even read all these because there's so many cards. Anyway, you pretty much have every fucking wand, and it's all at the beginning. Then you have, for major arcana, you have the Fool, the Hermit. You have the Devil reverse, which is amazing. That came up in the Aries reading last night when we were talking about releasing toxic cycles, releasing like addictions, things like that. And then, you know, following the Devil. So you might, since Aries and Pisces are so close in, you know, relation to each other, you might have a lot to take away from the Aries reading last night. So if you want to watch that, that might be good. But it was a lot about like bringing balance back after toxic cycles have kind of like taken over your life. And Temperance comes right after the Devil reversed. So you go, oh, I like, yeah, you know what? I like the sequence here. You go from the Fool to the Hermit to the Devil reversed to Temperance to the Chariot. So all your major arcana are like on the second half of your past present, which means it's probably closer to your present. So that's good. That means like you're moving towards good shit. So I think maybe you were overcrowded in the mind, overcrowded in the emotions, overcrowded in the heart. Like I said, he had a lot of emotions, and then I feel like he ran away. So that might be sort of what I'm getting at, is like you might be running from situations, even if you don't have negative emotions towards them, they might just be a lot of emotions, and that just might be too much for you to deal with right now. Maybe you have other things you want to focus on. Like he's a doctor, he wants to focus on his career right now, he's like doing all this stuff. So it's like just having too many emotions for somebody or something can be, you know, it sounds like a good thing, having a lot, like really being passionate about somebody or something, but I just feel like maybe one human body can't handle all of those emotions. But I really like the sequence here of the Fool to the Hermit, Devil reverse, Temperance, Chariot, and then you have the Emperor. So he would also always come up as the Emperor in these readings. So I just think that you are moving in the right direction. And I've had some readings lately where people weren't like Sagittarius. They were just moving in the wrong fucking direction. So let me tell you that these cards read people. They fucking read people to filth. They don't spare anyone. So I would tell you if you're going in the wrong direction. But it really looks like you are really moving in the right direction. And I don't see you doing things like really wrong in the past. I just see you a little discombobulated. And there's even something with the pattern of these cards. You have a lot that are in the Wands section, which is like the front of your past present. They're all flipped. So like the pattern in which it's flipped gives me a kind of feeling of like how your brain is working. So you have the Ace of Wands reversed. Then you have the Five of Wands upright. Then you have the two, like, you have things that they just flip-flop back and forth from being upright to reverse. And I kind of feel like that's your brain, like your emotions. It's like, oh, do I want to do this? Do I not? I don't know. And then like after just too much back and forth of like all this passion and thinking and whatever, it's just like easier to escape and easier to just put it on the back burner and like leave all this shit alone in order to get by and be productive. So I think you're turning that around though. I think that the Devil reverse refers to that cycle of like escapism. And I think Aries had the opposite problem. I think that they were just like taking on too much on their plate and just like just fucking destroying their life. And I don't see you destroying your life here, but I think your method of not destroying your life is escapism. And like you guys are very dreamy, very dreamy sign, so it makes sense that you're very like up in your head and all that stuff. So I think that that's typical of Pisces, but try to examine when you're doing that, because it's something that maybe you've developed naturally, like from when you were a kid. He definitely had a lot of trauma as a kid, and I think like he's probably developed that like that as a method of like, it's like probably a defense mechanism of him just, you know, just not even wanting to deal with it, just like going somewhere else in your brain and like not thinking about it. So an Aries reading was also about like uprooting things that you learned since you were a child that you maybe like that were ingrained in you that you didn't realize were toxic cycles like that. So maybe you didn't realize that like escaping and just, I have this problem too with like, I'm an Aquarius, so we have that whole detachment thing, and it's like it's healthy in terms of survival, and we were talking a lot about survival in the Aries reading too, so there's definitely a link between what Archangel Michael was saying and your reading too. It's like a lot of the survival skills we learn growing up, and not even, I don't even say learn because it sounds not like what I'm saying, like the survival skills that we naturally like don't even realize that we develop are helpful in a lot of ways to literally help us survive. Like I know he, like I said, with like depression, he tried to kill himself when he was in high school, and you know, I just feel like escaping and putting things on the back burner and not really touching them, it is a way to actually survive, you know, in the here and now. It is helpful for things like that, and I'm super sorry if anyone's going through that. It's a really tough time right now being inside and at home, and I hope if you're going through anything like that, like whatever method works for you. It's so hard because everybody deals with things differently. Like for me, I just don't want to talk to people, so I don't want to say talk to people, but I will say that no matter who you are, I think that if you do get an opportunity to like go out with friends or something, it's, even if it feels like you just want to be anchored to your bed, or like you can't do it because you're so cripplingly depressed or something, sometimes just forcing yourself, or even I was thinking the other day, like when I was the worst in my depression, my friend's mom bought us tickets to the last Warped Tour, and I had never gone to Warped Tour, and it was like a childhood dream of mine to go to Warped Tour, but I had no friends in high school who liked, you know, that type of music, so I just could never do it. And then her mom like got us tickets, and it was so sweet. And like I said, I was at like the worst of the worst. So if that had been a normal day, like a normal my friend wants to go out with me today, I would have definitely been like, I can't do this, I'm staying home. But sometimes buying tickets, I want to say like setting up something in the near future that you basically can't get out of, or basically would feel like shit to get out of, and obviously don't harm anybody in like the in doing that. Like, obviously make sure you're not wasting anybody's money or like their time or anything. But if you can set up something, I know we're not really going out right now, but we're most parts of the world you are allowed out and like with a mask, and if you don't feel comfortable doing that, obviously don't. But even just like a Skype date, Zoom date, whatever the fuck people are using these days, like even just setting something up, knowing that you don't want to do it. Like, you might feel right now, if I told you to set up a Zoom date with somebody, like, that is my nightmare. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to just dwell in whatever I'm going through and just fucking do my normal thing of not talking about it, escaping. I would encourage you to just, like, say, I don't want to do this, and I know I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do this, because I'm telling you, after that day that when I went to, I had to go to Warped Tour because my friend's mom paid for the tickets. We had planned to go together, and I would never, like, her mom's the sweetest woman in the world. I would never, like, waste her money, and I would never leave my friend hanging who really wanted to go, you know? So it was something where, like, guilt overtook my extreme crippling depression, so I had to go. I had to pull myself there, and honestly, it turned out to be one of the best days in a long time for me, and I think it really helped me, like, jumpstart getting better. So I want to say, if you have the opportunity to do that, to set up friends with plants. Ugh, I can't fucking talk. I'm in your head, baby. There's too much going on. It's too crowded up there. If you can set up plans with friends in any way, or even maybe not even friends if it's too much for you, somewhere in the public, somewhere, like a little activity, whether it's going to the farmer's market. I just did that on Sunday. If you have one near you, like, just going somewhere, going pumpkin picking. It's Halloween almost, you know. Setting up an activity and be like, I'm just going to do this even if I feel like I can't get out of bed this morning. And hopefully this is not for everybody. I really hope that everybody that I'm talking to right now is not dealing with, like, crippling depression, but I feel like collectively as a world right now, no one's feeling their hottest. No one's feeling their best. So even if you're not, like, cripplingly depressed right now, taking little steps like this, I think can just help boost your mood overall, even if you don't feel like it. Of course, like, also if you feel like treating yourself to a night in of, like, indulging and just, like, watching a movie and eating a bunch of shit, like, do that for sure, and really don't feel guilty about that either. Like, don't let yourself, if you want to eat the whole fucking tub of ice cream, I've really learned that when you really want to relax, you cannot have any guilt about this stuff. You need to really give yourself a true cheat day where you're like, these calories do not count. These calories, I'm eating air right now. You know, like, you just need one of those days, or a day like that per week. It really doesn't matter because you have a lot going on. I know you do. And I hope it's good because you have, like, this red passion. I feel like it really, I hope that passion is directed towards the right things, basically. Because that passion could be directed towards, like, dwelling on shit. You could be obsessing on negative things. But like I said, I see that devil reversed and moving into the emperor. And like, the chariot energy, like, temperance is balanced, chariot is fast moving, emperor, like, has his shit together. So you're definitely on your way there. And I think the card that's really important here is the Fool. So it kind of goes along with what I was saying about, like, just setting up a plan, even if you know that you're gonna fucking not want to get out of bed on this day. Like, the Fool is a huge risk taker, and he just doesn't really know what's at the end of his the tunnel that he's embarking on. Oh, I'm gonna start this camera over because it normally shuts off in a second. Phew, cut that just in time. Yeah, the Fool is, he doesn't know how things are going to turn out. He doesn't know how things are going to turn out, but he does them anyway with the hope that, like, the universe is going to help him out. And I'm not usually a big, like, the universe is, like, going to help you, because people who say that, I'm always like, okay, if the universe helps everyone, then why am I literally watching a homeless guy walk by right now? Like, I'm literally watching a homeless guy walk by right now. Like, then, you know, if the universe helps everybody, why is Why is that around? So I don't want to just blindly say like the universe is going to help you, but another thing we were talking about in the Aries reading is like, I've realized from my channelings with people like Archangel Michael and other people is like they really want you to ask for help. I always thought it was selfish to ask for help, but I really think that the universe, whoever you believe in, they really want you to ask for help, and they want you to want to be happy. So a big thing about depression is we can get in this cycle of like not even realizing we're almost romanticizing it, or like dwelling on it in a way that makes it bigger than what it is. So I'm talking about depression a lot, and I really hope that you guys are not dealing with it this severely. So if you're like totally good, maybe click off. I don't want you to even really get in this mood, but I will say that one of the most important tips I've learned for personally dealing with depression is like, it's definitely hardest once you're in it to get back out, but once you are back out, or once you're getting better, or once you're making like once you're making progress, and you really don't want to go back to that place that you're like lowest point, you need to literally treat depression like fucking coronavirus. So Pisces, other people, I don't want to say like, I definitely don't want to say like you can be dramatic, because that is not what I want to say about this thing. I used to have a tendency, and I think people still do have a tendency of like, the first sign of depression, you're like, oh my god, here it is again, woe is me. And this sounds like I'm being condescending, but I'm literally not. I'm literally just saying like, that is actually an appropriate reaction. When you feel depression coming back, an appropriate reaction is to be like really bummed and really like scared and like, fuck, it's back again. So that is normal and totally fine. But the best way I found for helping depression, I haven't been depressed in like a couple years, but I was for a long period of time before that. It's not even ever giving yourself that second to be like, oh no, or not even giving yourself that second to be like, here it is again, I'm going down. You know, right when you smell that like little scent of depression creeping in, you need to like get the fucking extinguisher out. You need to like set the house on fire. You need to like I literally treat it like the devil. Like, I know we're talking about the devil card like reversed. I treat it as like the devil knocking on my fucking doorstep, and I'm like, not today, Satan. I'm like, I have the fucking whatever, you know. I am taking it's literally that attitude of not today, Satan. It's like, I'm not even giving it the I'm not even giving it any attention. I'm not even letting it like enter my system. And of course there's gonna be beasts that are really huge, and this is not gonna fix it, but I think it's a step to just it's really hard to talk about this stuff because everybody's dealing with something different. And even this Pisces guy, like, his girlfriend killed herself, and I'm so sorry if I didn't give like a proper trigger warning and all this, but it's a really difficult topic because everybody's dealing with something different. And I will tell a story here, and I'm sorry that this is like kind of a depressing reading because I really don't see that you're in that now or moving towards it. So maybe you have already gotten out of it. It's close to being gone if you're not already in that energy. So I'm probably talking to people at different spots, but I don't know. What's the point of the story I want to tell? I don't know. I'm probably not gonna tell. It's not an important one. I don't want to get like too depressing, but the problem with depression is everybody's dealing with something different, and there's no one size fits all. And I really hate when people just fucking tweet out that hotline like I don't know. I'm never gonna. I'm glad it's there, and if you have the maybe this is what this reading is about. It's like, maybe I'm over here being like, I would never call that fucking hotline, like, just because that's me. But maybe this reading is about not being stubborn and like doing things like that, like little things that might seem stupid to you, like if you're in that mood, like calling the fucking suicide hotline, like taking any little step. You have to treat depression like you are fighting with every might of you. Because like I said, a lot of the times the tendency is to sort of fall back and just get sad that depression is here, and then that just snowballs into a whole thing, and we kind of feed into it unknowingly. And like I said, that's an appropriate reaction. I understand why people do that and why I used to do that. But like I said, when you even fucking sense anything, dude, you have to just, the way you use your escapism now in life to escape from problems is, I don't want to say escaping, but you need to not pay attention to it. So the way you're ignoring other things in life is the way you have to ignore depression. You have to literally go about your day, and if you have to talk to it, if you have to pretend like depression is a literal living being, which I have done before as a method to get over it, if you have to envision it as like a really, like a bully, like a bad person, if you're into spiritual stuff, which Pisces people are a lot of the time, if you have to think of it as a literal demon, like trying to invade your space, which honestly, I might lose some people here, but sometimes I feel like there could be spiritual things at play. I know in the darkest times of my life, like, I was doing some fucked up spiritual things. So maybe if you haven't done protection work or really done like shadow work, because if you're dabbling in spirituality without kind of taking all the precautions, I feel like that can play into things. It is a really touchy subject, so I don't want to just be like, do a protection spell or do a whatever, like sage your home. But you kind of need to treat it like it is a separate entity that you can keep away from you. So if that imagery like helps you at all, it has helped me. And it's kind of like I had this spider web that just came into my home, and it was this big black spider web with a spider egg, and I was like, damn, this scares the shit out of me, but I really don't want to take the effort of, you know, trying to get it down, because then the spider's gonna jump at me, and I'm just scared. So I just sat under it for like a few nights, not knowing if the spiders were gonna crawl out and fucking eat me. And I want you to be the bitch that grabs the fucking vacuum and whatever and just like whacks that shit away the second you see it. Like, don't be like me and just wait around until you finally get up the courage to do it. Like, the second you see any fucking spider making a web in your shit, get it. And I'm talking about this in a metaphorical way. And it's actually interesting about the spider imagery, because apparently there's something in like black magic, it's like a spider curse or something. I don't know. Like I said, I might lose some people here. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's this medium who's pretty good, and she's kind of crazy, but she's actually really accurate about a lot of things. And now this is like this is tough stuff to talk about. And this woman could be crazy, but she was talking about Robin Williams' suicide. And she, like I said, she's been really weirdly accurate about a lot of stuff, but she is a little crazy, so I don't take this with a grain of salt. But she said something about him being cursed with like a black spider curse, and like somebody did something to him. So this is a stupid thing to even bring up, but like, I'm asking you to treat it like an external thing. Either if you're into spiritual stuff like that, do like a binding spell. If you have a bad person in your life, do a binding spell and get them away from you. It's funny, I wasn't going to bring this up, but when I was looking through a notebook of mine, right before this reading, I was reminded of this guy who's like the most evil guy in my life, and I'm not saying that you guys are most evil because he's a Pisces, but like he's a specific exception to the Pisces community. He's pure evil. He's actually murdered someone. Horrible man. And I had to do this whole, you know, binding against him. And I talk a lot about this woman. She's a witch, and I grew up in Salem, Massachusetts, near a lot of witches, and I've gone to many. Most of them are bad. I'm not someone who blindly just believes people. I need hard, cold evidence that you are actually legit, and I've sifted through many throughout my life. I've only found a handful that are decent, and then I found one finally. Finally, I found my golden psychic witch. She knows more about me than I know about myself. She has known facts on facts on facts on facts that she could not have known. So I'm sort of forced to believe anything that she says just because she's never been wrong about anything. And she was doing a healing on me. I reached out to her when I was at a really low point, really, really bad point, and I mentioned a lot of people in my life. I didn't know who might have been a negative influence on me. I wasn't as skilled as I am now at figuring that out. And I listed a bunch of people in my life, pretty much everyone. And I was thinking that she would just figure out from there who was the worst and who was affecting me the most negatively. So I was really interested to see who she said, and I'll say this. I thought I was dealing with medical problems. I thought maybe I had like something going on just because I was so off. So I had asked her to do this thing called a body scan, which is where she just kind of looks at your body. And she had asked about people in my life, so I sent her that list of like, you know, whatever. So I was thinking it was more of a me thing, like I'm doing things wrong. It's like a body thing affecting me. And she told me out of nowhere, like I said, I didn't give her a lot of information about each of these people, but she told me that this evil guy who lived next to me, I didn't know at the time that he for sure murdered somebody, but now I know, not only because of her, because I have this book that I found it in. It was a crazy fucking story. So this is also a crazy reading. I'm sorry that I'm going on such a tangent, but she told me that he was the one that basically cursed me. He gave me something and I shouldn't have kept it for as long as I did, and I actually felt it. This is when I started to become more in tune with what's affecting me and what's not. So before I even went to her, I knew the object had brought something like super crazy into my life, and I did everything I possibly could to get rid of it, which helped a little bit but not completely. And she had to really tell me how deeply it was like affecting me negatively. So I had to do this pretty intense month-long ritual to get rid of it, but I've never felt better in my life. So I'm just saying, like, if you subscribe to that type of thing, spirituality, you don't have to. You might think that this is totally crazy, but I feel like Pisces people are normally into this. Like, treat it like a fucking object that's cursing you. Treat it like, even if it's the placebo effect, even if it's you doing this whole ritual and having this placebo effect of you thinking that it's working, it doesn't matter. I was just learning about, you know, the placebo effect the other day, and how it's actually, people kind of give it has a bad reputation, but at the end of the day, it's making people feel better. So even if it does end up being like a placebo effect, and you don't have to think about that, you know, just like really invest yourself if you're going to do something like this, like a ritual to cleanse yourself, to cleanse your home, to just get your shit sorted out. Like, really believe in it, and really believe that the universe wants to help you if you ask for help. Truly believe that, because that is absolutely what I've been hearing from my guides, that they want you to be happy. They want you to want to be happy. A lot of people don't know that the universe actually wants you to be happy. It sounds like a really easy concept to just be like, yeah, like, we're supposed to be happy and all that stuff, but legitimately, I didn't know that. I thought that it was selfish to want to be happy. I thought that if I prayed for myself or asked for things for myself, I thought that was selfish. And they are like, no, the whole point of life is to live a happy, fulfilled life. So by you asking for help shows that you value your life, and that's what they care about. So I just think that if you feel any negative emotions, this doesn't have to be depression, it can be anxiety, it can be any negativity, any negative people. If you feel anything negative in your life, I want you to, from the second you feel it, to notice how you're reacting to it. And if you're reacting naturally in like a dwelling on it, romanticizing it type of way, I want you to take on that like cut that shit out attitude, like fucking protect yourself, fucking like warrior shit, cut that shit out, like emperor energy, like, you know, get that shit out. And I hope you can do that. Let's see what we have for time here. Damn, we're fucking, I'm sorry that this is a long reading. So I'm gonna just flip over your future cards, but I think the reading has been pretty clear so far. Yeah, so basically what I'm getting about your future is if you don't stop this cycle of dwelling in stuff, dwelling in too many emotions, or just like doing your little like escapism thing, I know it's hard, but if you don't tackle it head first, like it's a physical, external thing, if you don't tackle it like with all your might at the first sight of any negativity, if you don't get really fucking amped up, like wanting to kill this shit, death card, wanting to end these cycles, then it's going to unfortunately trickle into a lot of areas of life. You have the Hermit, you have the Four of Cups, you have the Two of Cups reversed, and those are not... You have the King of Wands reversed. Yeah, you have the Wheel of... Okay. You have the World reversed. You have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. You have the King of Wands reversed. You have the Two of Cups reversed. You have the Hermit. You have the Four of Cups. That is what will happen. And that is... I absolutely don't want to see that. So... Yeah, that... So what I'm getting from this is you could be the Death card. So you could have this Ace of Swords and you could have this Death card, which is renewed like mental state. This Ace of Swords is a renewed you know, mental state, mind, all of this stuff, a new like warrior energy, new just new renewal. And the Death card is the ending of old shit. If you take and toxic things like that Devil reversed, if you take your Ace of Swords and your Death card, then from here on out you're good. That's the end of your story. That's the end of your story. Then you're good. You're free. But if you don't, then you're going to have to deal with these cards that came after, like I said. And yeah, like you have some other ones here too, but really it's all the same message. The World reversed, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, King of Wands. Like I said, you have all these wands. You should be the King of Wands upright. And I know it's easier said than done. But if you can, declutter your mind. Really take those mental health days, those relaxation days where you don't think about, oh, I'm sitting around all day. I feel like I'm guilty for doing that. No, the universe wants you to have fun and relax. So really prioritize relaxation. We also talked about that in the Aries reading. Prioritize that and things that really make you relaxed. Like if you think something makes you relaxed, really analyze, how do I feel after doing this? Is it really making me relax, or do I feel guilty that I just ate that ice cream, you know? If you do feel guilty, try to just shoot those. Literally have a metaphorical gun. I'm shooting any negative thoughts that come toward me. The second I see them, I'm shooting the fuck out of that, you know? With your Ace of Swords, like I'm chopping that shit down the second you see it. So I guess this reading is just about taking ownership of your mind, which sounds way easier than it can be. But I think it's just a shift in seeing yourself not as the victim, but as someone who is totally capable of conquering something. Like, don't even think about it as you might not overcome this. Don't even let that enter your mind, because most people do overcome depression. I'm here right now to tell you that I'm living the best fucking life. I've said that in a couple readings. Like, I had the worst fucking life for a long time, and I have the best life right now. And I think about the people that I have lost to suicide and things like this. And sorry, it's a really intense reading, but I also communicate with these people who pass over from suicide, and they almost all regret it. If I don't know that they died from suicide, and there's like any uncertainty around their death, they don't want to admit that they committed suicide, because it's something they're a little bit ashamed of. It's something they're a little bit embarrassed of. It's something they don't like talking about on the other side. And if anybody is at that point, like, seriously, reach out to me. Reach out to, if you feel like it. Like, if talking to other people really does not make you happy, or you don't think it does, I don't know, just, man, this is a really tough topic because everybody's super different. But if you know immediate things, one thing that helped me is I made a list of immediate things that I know will immediately make me a little bit happier. Is it going to make you, is it going to cure your depression in a second? No. But little things like getting a fucking iced caramel latte, getting ice cream. It was all fucking food, of course. Watching YouTube was actually one of them. Maybe you have a certain movie that you really love watching. If you just have a list on hand of things that instantly make you a little bit happier, and it's just a list that you can pull up at any moment, and maybe it's a cup of tea, maybe it's something, painting your nails. I painted my nails before this reading. Just little tiny things like that. At the first sign of any negative emotion entering your fucking sphere, at the first sign of it, don't even let it enter your fucking sphere, dude. Like, just pretend it's an actual physical external thing that you can shoot down with your fucking gun. Like, just get that attitude. It's an attitude switch of, I'm being attacked, I'm a victim, and like I'm saying, being depressed, you have every right to feel like a victim and all that stuff. It's valid, but I want you to as a rescue technique, change yourself from the victim to I'm fucking attacking you, bitch. If you gotta get out whatever smudge stick you have to actually, because it could be, I don't know, if you're someone who dabbles in magic and spiritual stuff, and you're messing around with bad people, it could be a spiritual thing. I don't know. I don't want to get all woo woo on everybody, but I do think if we want to believe that there's some God flying around in the sky and whatever, there's a lot of possibilities for a lot of different things. So of course it could be a medical thing too. He's a doctor. He has different deficiencies. I also realized I have vitamins, dude. Okay, I don't know if anybody started taking vitamins during coronavirus, but if you're not taking vitamin D and vitamin C, or at least getting enough vitamin C in your diet, please, when I tell you that just taking a multivitamin every day changed my mood so drastically. If there's one takeaway that you can get from this, if you're dealing with any not feeling great and you're not taking just a simple multivitamin, I'm telling you, please take a fucking vitamin. And even that witch lady brought up vitamins for me. She's like, are you deficient in this? And I started taking a vitamin, and dudes, if you're women, make sure you have enough iron, B12, all these things. Really make sure, because it could oftentimes be a medical thing. He has a thyroid problem, which can lead to depression. And I just think you have a lot going on, and a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, which should be channeled into things like love. It should be the Two of Cups upright, not the Two of Cups reversed. So we need to stay on that Devil reversed and that Death, Ace of Swords energy, because you absolutely have it in you. It's here. It's in front of me. It's in your spread. You're moving in the right direction, but they're just showing me that if you don't cut the shit out with the Death card, there's a possibility of a lot of really not cute things, and I think you know that. So take ownership of your mind, of your life. I know it's super hard. If you can make plans that you have to stick to, I think it'll maybe boost your mood. If not, if what's going to boost your mood is a day in talking to nobody, do it. Whatever you think, even just a little small thing, caramel latte, whatever the fuck. Please, please, please just treat this like it's a life or death situation, because it is. Depression, other negative emotions really are a life or death situation, because every day that you have a bad day, it's a wasted day. If you can't do the things that you typically do, if you can't work to your full capacity, it's a wasted day. So literally treat it like a life or death situation, and like it's an actual ailment, like coronavirus. Take your vitamin D, take your, like fucking spray your spider repellent. I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to really get that across, that it doesn't have to be a thing that automatically wins over you. You are more than capable, if you just know that it's within you, to defeat these negative emotions and a crowded mind and all that stuff. If you have too much going on at work, see how you can alleviate that. Too much in other areas of life. Just big emphasis this week in readings is like relaxation, not overworking yourself, not overthinking. Like I said, easier said than done, but any little areas that you can chop something off, chop a responsibility off your plate, give someone else that responsibility. If you're like a manager at work and you can ask somebody else to do this task, or, any little thing that you can get off your plate, please try to do it. And if you want to put something good on your plate, like some cookies, some ice cream, something that you're going to really enjoy, I think you have every right to do that, and I hope that you do that. So I'm going to end it here. I'm sorry that this was like long as fuck as usual and a little bit, on the sad side, but I really think it looks good for you, and I know you're going to stick to this devil reversed, Ace of Swords, death thing. And if you're not, and you're feeling like you're slipping, don't be stubborn like me. Call that hotline and reach out to people, even if you feel like you don't want to talk to people, because I do think at the end of the day, talking to people will absolutely help. I wish you happiness, everything. I hope that this is not the energy that you are in right now. I really, really hope so. Let me know if you are, though, and you want to talk. I would be happy to talk more and think more about this in like a better way than just spur of the moment, like getting everything out of my mouth. But yeah, love you guys so much. Okay, have a good night.